Oh my God, we are back for yet another edition of Grindhouse Chic. I am Robert Schneider, and as always, I am joined by Matt Armstrong, and Brian Baldwin will be coming back from his special assignment at some point in this episode, and we'll be glad to have him. But man, let us talk first and foremost about the March pre-orders. What did you think of the announcements for the VS Prime, VSA, and Hikarama announcements?
Um, I'm excited for him. I think I was telling you I'm kind of surprised to see Freeway 2. Seems like they never have the rights to all the movies in the series when they put out these releases as of late. I've never seen it though, but the
I
title sounds funny.
I've seen it before, and I don't remember much of it. So I look forward to revisiting it. I think Vinegar Syndrome is in a Matthew. This is the year of Matthew Bright, so we're probably going to see a lot of his releases, and hopefully the director's cut of Tiptoes, which I hear is fantastic compared to the theatrical cut. But I think I'm most excited about Primal Rage.
Yeah, that's I've never seen that either, but from all the posts I've seen, everyone seems really excited for that one. It's just a crazy, crazy movie apparently.
It looks utterly bonkers. Dog Tags looks good. Babe looks good. I'm excited to see that. The Mexican Gothic is jury is out. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about these. I kind of thought it was going to be the box two of that other guy, but
I don't think that box set's ever coming out.
uh, I thought there was still a chance.
There's always a chance. You have to have hope. Without
But
hope, there's
from
nothing to.
these are from what, the 70s, these gothic ones?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might be good.
So let's talk about partner labels. One of us ordered all of them.
I know, man. Fell right back into it.
So how many times are you going to watch Meet Me in the Bathroom?
Well, where's that one at? Utopia. Let me see what this one's about. Um, oh, it's a documentary about some bands from the 2000s. Probably once.
Yeah, I like the Strokes. I like LCD Soundstorm. I like Interpol. Yeah, yeah, yeahs. Great time for music. I just don't know if I need to own this. And maybe at the point of the halfway sale, I'll pick it up when it goes on sale.
I think with some of these partner labels, if I end up not liking them, it seems like the slips are going like quicker and quicker all of a sudden. So um, I can sell I can sell these that I don't end up liking the partner labels and see if I can recoup some subscription costs, kind of.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. Subscription costs. I'm the ones I only ordered. What I was excited about was Breathless from Fun City, which I actually saw this one before I saw the Godard version.
Mm.
I absolutely love the Godard version.
I
Flesh
remember
Merchant from Culture Shock.
being obsessed with Breathless when I was a kid. She loved Richard Gere.
Your mom?
Yeah, I've never seen it though. I remember her. She always had the VHS tape like right on the top of the stack, just ready to watch it.
Nice. Your mom diddled herself to Richard Gere.
Maybe. Right up until that gerbil incident.
That's not true. That is not true. All right. From Umbrella Academy, I'm excited about Nightmares. And then from American Genre Film Archives, AGFA, might be the release of the year, the Shaolin Invincibles plus 7-1.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
most excited about that one.
So I had an issue when I logged on to use my subscription.
Hmm.
It didn't recognize that I was a subscriber.
Yeah. I was telling you it did that to me a couple of times too, and a couple, or at least one time, it gave me um the discount on the Vinegar Syndrome stuff and not partner labels.
I didn't even get the discount. Like it wasn't reading anything, and that's why I messaged you frantically to see if you were getting that error as well. But
Yeah, I've never had to contact them. It kind of just usually works itself out.
Yeah, I actually ended up using my points to get the discount.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I messaged them and they finally answered me back and they're like, "Are we taking care of it? We're refunding you the money." I should have asked for the refund of the points, but at this point, I don't care.
Yeah.
I
Ooh,
don't care at all.
they're gonna put something in that point store that you're really gonna want, and you can't get it. Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you?
Nothing there has interested me.
Yeah.
I mean, what I don't think they're going to do is put uh, a slip cover to something that all never had a slip cover in there. I think they're going to want to make the money up front for that.
The one thing, I mean, I think these points are just gonna keep adding up for me. The one thing I thought about getting just because it really took me back was the Pogs.
No,
Perhaps the worst game ever created.
no, yeah, no, no, no. They're just trying to make you buy. It's like carnival prizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No rules, no nothing. You just fucking slam them as hard as you can.
Speaking of carnival prizes, um, let's talk about the jackass of the week. If you are on Facebook and you go into the official group, you will have noticed that the account known as "Do Not Subscribe to Vinegar Syndrome in 2023" has posted again. Matt, will you do the courteous one and read the post out?
I can read this. Yes. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hello. So
Here.
is this the vinegar syndrome post? I know nothing about
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a couple of months ago, when they finally released the Invisible Maniac lenticular slip, there was a guy that was posting in all the groups who was super pissed that he didn't buy it. Said that he was speaking for the entire community, that it was a terrible thing for Vinegar Syndrome to do, um, and ended up creating a group on Facebook, as Robert mentioned, called "Do Not Subscribe to Vinegar Syndrome in 2023." Um, so he pretty much got laughed off for months, and as everyone knows, Brad Henderson um, stepped down and moved over to Terror Vision to kind of head that. And because of that, this guy has resurfaced and posted today. Here's his post. He says, "Yes, we have been a bit quiet, but have a bit of a follow up to the Invisible Maniac slipcover disaster."
Well, Matt, before you can continue,
Yep.
it's obvious this guy has very poor grammar skills, which you will find out as you read the post, but there should have been a comma between quiet and but, and maniac should have been capitalized. Sorry. I hope you're reading. I hope you're watching this, Sam Costas, because this is all about you.
All right. Through a private PM, I have been speaking with a friend that knows someone that works closely on VS projects as a freelancer. We cannot, capitalized C on the cannot, reveal any more than that. Dot, dot, dot.
That's because that person's made up.
Yeah. So then in this next part is supposedly, it's all in quotes. So this must be what he's saying the insider said. So he says, so the Invisible Maniac slipcover debacle caused quite a stir within VS. I can tell you the upper company owners were not happy. Apparently, Brad Henderson was behind the April Fool's Day prank. The company directors were not even informed or aware of the prank beforehand, as they are more involved in the upper day-to-day operations of restoring films, making deals, etc., and not the art/packaging side. Brad was already on thin ice at VS, but the straw that broke the camel's back was the lenticular slipcover. He was fired shortly after this all came to light. The staff at VS were embarrassed by the whole thing and swore it would never happen again. Pretty insane how a slipcover can cost someone their career. Notice the BioZombie slipcover exclusive. Yeah, well, that's VS trying to make it up to subs and trying to regain their loyalty after that disaster. The guys in VS are considering doing a VS Media Club Invisible Maniac slipcover reprint to make up for upset fans. Good luck to Brad. He can do all the April Fool's jokes he wants at TerraVision because Vinegar Syndrome do not want that crap. There will not be an April Fool's joke this year, as that was all Brad's idea. And he closes it with, well, there you go. At least someone behind this mess got fired.
Okay, so you know how I can tell this is all a fake? Where it said it cost someone their career, and then the final paragraph, good luck to Brad at TerraVision. Second, Brad Henderson did respond to this saying this is not true, that he was never involved with packaging, and he still does work for Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
But what kills me about this is the higher ups, Lee Jones and whoever else, probably know what's going on their website before a sale goes live.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like posted numerous times with updates, all the emails that went out talking about it. So I just don't know why this guy is like so mad that he missed out on the slipcover.
Well, it's easy because I went back and reread every post on his page. It was because he misread what the terms and conditions of the slipcovers were. We, as a subscriber, we got every slipcover. I did not order the invisible slipcover since I had no idea what it was. Do I wish it was to order it? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I regret not ordering it? Same answer. But I'm not butthurt over it.
You're not thinking about creating a Facebook group to?
No, I didn't order it, and I got exactly
if
what.
you do, let me know. I'll join it.
Thanks, Brian. But
You're
here's the
welcome.
thing: I got all the slip covers. I didn't get the one I would have had to pay extra for.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point in it. I'm getting mad.
Have you guys been noticing a lot less interest in, obviously we see a lot of sellers in these groups, and generally it seems like, especially with older titles, right? Like people put them up with the slips and they're gone fairly quickly. I've noticed since these reprints of slip covers and stuff like that has been happening, that a lot of those posts don't even get any traction or little. I just find it to be kind of shocking. I'm like, wow, is that, are we turning away from the obsession with slipcovers now? You know what I mean?
I don't think so, because that's why the partner labels sell out so fast, because some of them are 1,000, 1,500, and I mean you got to think about it. Like, some of these movies are not good. The GoldenEye video game, from what I heard, is on Tubi. You can watch that, and it's a
That's what I heard too.
It's a meh movie. It went out of print because people wanted the slipcover for the resale value for the most part. I think there's too many collectors who want the slip over the movie. And I think that's the biggest problem Vinegar Syndrome has to deal with in the near future, because the speculators are going to move on to labels that don't print as much, like TerraVision.
Probably not, but did Vinegar Syndrome create this problem? Like, were slipcovers that huge of a deal before them? Like, I know Arrow with the like limited edition things they put out, but those were like big boxes and stuff. So I don't know if
I think they were to a smaller degree, but yeah, I think they were to a smaller degree. I don't think they are, because I mean, Vinegar Syndrome was getting traction before, but back then they were mostly a DVD company, and I think they used slips to get people to buy their Blu-rays.
Yeah, see that.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't work for the company, and I'm not an insider like do not subscribe to Vinegar Syndrome 2023 as. But I think we all got a little bit crazy. I think people got a little bit crazy over pieces of cardboard. I mean, I don't understand. Again, we buy it for the movie. The slip is just an added bonus.
Robert, I'm not buying this. All I hear is wah, wah, wah. I didn't get the limited slip. Quit bitching.
Brian, did you get
Put up or shut up.
Did you get it?
I did.
You're smarter than I am.
I don't know about all
And
that.
here's the thing: it wasn't an April Fool's Day joke. I think was it announced the halfway subscription, or was it announced when you bought your subscription last year in November?
I actually do believe it was no, I think it was April. There was some I was working at Volkswagen at the time, which I was only there for a couple of months. So it had to have been sometime in between February and the beginning of April.
It was with the new announcements on April 1st, because it was just an item you could buy for $6 on there.
Okay,
But it's the hand doing this.
that's
Yeah. I'd like
That's-
to meet that hand one day.
but
I'd like to shake that hand.
it's funny to think that they. I mean, this was. I have a feeling this was always going to be the case for the Invisible Maniac.
But I mean, I think it was really smart on Vinegar Syndrome's behalf, because probably no one's going to make that mistake again, and they're going to get even more people to send them money for whatever these little surprises are.
Yeah,
It's true.
but you know they did make it up to subscribers for the slipcase for Bio Zombies. But you know what? I thought that was good. I think it's unfair to non-subscribers who should be able to get that as well. And I heard rumors they eventually will. But I think that guy's a douche nozzle.
Yeah. I wonder if he ended up subscribing this year.
Someone at every post, someone asks.
Yeah.
And I bet you he did subscribe.
Probably.
Because I haven't heard him bitch about if he did it not getting the Bio Zombie slipcase. But what gets me is in one of his posts, he goes on, he comments how he is low income and saved up all year for this, which begs another question: is where are your priorities?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to shame anyone, but it just seems like that is a bad use of money.
Yeah, I kind of
can't say anything on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the whole post is just bullshit, just made up bullshit.
What he has a website called vsisliars.com that just redirects to Vinegar Syndrome site. I mean, dude, if you can afford a year, I mean, look, buying a website isn't big deal, but the fact is that you're sending people to the very website that you hate is really, really fucking stupid.
It probably cost him about $20 a year to run that website. He could have got 3 of those slipcovers.
That's funny.
Oh man.
You guys remember that one guy on YouTube who he was like some big burly like redneck guy who I think his video got more traction because he was like going on this huge rant about how long it took for him to get his package from Vinegar Syndrome.
Yep.
Like he's sitting in front of his movie shelves, of course, like every other, and he's just like, bro, got like a big dip in his mouth. I think at least it seemed like it. It's like, took 2 months to get this piece of shit. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I have seen it, and what killed me was he actually went and reordered this, got all the stuff on Orbit or Grindhouse DVD or Grindhouse, and was able to get the packages in faster. Good for Vinegar
Oh,
Syndrome.
okay.
You know what? Here's the thing: Halfway and Black Friday are the two biggest sales of the year. Even
Right.
even subscribers don't get things in a timely manner during that sale.
Yeah.
So, going on to the next topic, do you think Showgirls is the next VSU?
I saw someone mention that just because of the sparkles in that banner. I don't know. I know it's been talked about for a long time.
It is an MGM movie, and I really hope it's not.
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy movie.
It's it's just a bad movie that destroyed Elizabeth Berkley's career.
Didn't someone just recently put that one out?
I have no
I know
idea.
there was a not a 4K or anything, but I know there was a Blu-ray that came out, I think within like the last year.
I think that was Umbrella.
Was it Umbrella? Okay.
Which means it doesn't count.
Um,
Matt's like, I have 5 of them.
Yeah, I just went and ordered them. I forgot that I ordered them and ordered all in the same hour. One from Diabolic, one from Grindhouse, one from Orbit. Forgot I ordered it from Orbit, went back again and ordered it.
I don't think
Well,
I have any Umbrella movies.
I was very excited to rewatch Primal Rage, and I'm very excited to upgrade that movie. And I think you guys are going to have a blast with it.
Yeah,
In regards, Matt, you were asking about the restoration. It's nothing special. I wouldn't say it looks like shit. I mean, it's fine, but I just enjoyed the movie enough to I'll upgrade it for sure.
and I'm sure there weren't really any extras on the Code Red one, right?
There's none. There's one bonus feature, and I can't even remember what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill.
And of course, no subtitles on that either. So if you're a subtitle nut like I am, then another reason to upgrade.
Yeah, towards the end, Bill was skimping on extra features.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just seemed to me that he had no love for what he was putting out. He was just putting stuff out.
Who did that one? You said Code Red?
Yep, Bill Olson from Code Red.
Excuse me.
I do wonder what's going to happen to his library of films he actually owns. Is Dark Force going to release them, or are they going to go on the open market so companies like Vinegar Syndrome or Arrow or Severin can release them?
Yeah. It would be nice if someone who put in the extra work and properly restored them and got some special features on them would grab them.
He did have a partnership with Kino for some films, and I know at some point him and Shout Factory worked together. But let's talk about conquering our collections. Matt, why don't you go first?
I went with one that's kind of just been sitting here, and it's one of the Mill Creek movies that's got the kind of like VHS tape coming out of the side in them style on the fancy slip cover. And I'll just read the little synopsis on the back here. We've got blinded and left to die in Vietnam. Nick Parker has been missing in action for more than 2 decades. Finally home, he sets out to find and forgive his old army buddy, Frank Devereaux. Forced to cook up designer drugs for a corrupt casino boss, Devereaux talks, putting his ex-wife and son in danger. Caught in the middle and with henchmen in close pursuit, Nick uses his highly tuned senses to escape in an action-packed cross-country battle. And the movie is Blind Fury, starring Rutger Hauer.
It's Rutger Howard.
Man, I am surprised that I had never seen this one before, and kind of sad that I'd never watched it before, because that was a super fun movie. Um, it combines the two tropes of a blind samurai and a white guy being a samurai. That's pretty constant in a lot of movies. And yeah, just like it kind of reminded me of don't judge me on this because I really liked the movie. It kind of reminded me of Rush Hour, where it was like the perfect balance of like almost slapsticky humor, but with action as well. So I just had a really good time watching it. Really, really good action. Everyone that Rutger went up against were like huge barbarian looking guys. So it was kind of funny to see him do these fight scenes. Um, the facial expressions he was making the whole time, pretending to be blind, were like really funny. um, and it's got two of the best taglines I've ever seen. The first one is, "He may be blind, but he don't need no dog." And the second one, the second one, which I thought was almost insulting. Nick Parker has made a few enemies. They're mad, they're mean, and they're ugly. He's lucky he can't see what's he. He's lucky he can't see what he's up against.
Wonderful.
That's funny.
um, yeah, Rutger Hauer was really good in it. Terry O'Quinn, if you're familiar with him,
Yeah, from Lost and Stepfather 1 and 2.
he was the co-star in this. Frank Devereaux. He was a good guy in this one, so he was really good. Kind of liked seeing him. I feel like he's always a bad guy and
Oh,
stuff.
he was a good guy on Lost, and he was a good guy on Old School.
Well, yeah, I guess was he a good guy in Lost though?
Yes.
Let's break down all 6 seasons right now.
Yes, he was a good guy, except for where he was possessed by the bad guy in the last season.
Yeah. Yeah, I would really recommend it. It's directed by Philip Noyce, who directed
Noise.
classics as The Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, perhaps the movie that ruined Val Kilmer's career, The Saint, and all other random ones in there. But yeah, really good time. I believe the Blu-ray brand new is like $8. So
So you just picked this one out quite recently.
um it's been a while, I think.
Okay. I'll let it go, but I think this was released within the last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in one of my older stacks. Let me see. But I was going to say that I think this would be a perfect VSA title with some proper. There's no special features on this, so I think it'd be good to get some of those and a better transfer on it. I think it'd be perfect VSA.
Nice.
Brian, what about you?
I completely forgot about this. I'm sorry. I've been binging Masters of Horror. I can lie and say that I own it and just haven't watched it until now. That's no fun. No, I did. I completely forgot about this.
Okay. Which so far, what has been your favorite episode of Masters of Horror?
So I finished the first 3 episodes, and I am now on the fourth. That is directed by Dario Argento.
Have you seen Cigarette Burns yet?
Which I don't think so. Toby Hooper was the third one that had Robert Englund in it. About like basically the world has been hit with this kind of plague thing, and these punks take over this one part of the town. Cigarette Burns. Which one is it? There was another one with a rat with a man's face. That was pretty fun.
Don't know.
You're not going to tell me. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know when. I don't know when because I didn't watch. I didn't have Showtime. I just picked them up on VHS when Anchor Bay released them one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my
Well,
favorite.
all of that to say, I've been enjoying the hell out of them. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. All right, I actually have two conquering my collections because I knew Brian was going to forget this week because he was on special assignment. All right, both of these are DVDs. The first one is from Severin. I will read the description. Hana is a girl completely abandoned to herself, is not at all inhibited sexually, and is attracted to the attention of unscrupulous people like Miguel, who takes advantage of Hana, turning her to prostitution to obtain her drug fix, until she meets Alex, a young man with a sincere affection for her. Hana D, the girl from Vondel Park, an Italian film directed by Rino di Silvestro. This movie was pretty messed up. And she was already prostituting herself at the beginning when she'd be sitting in a train car wearing a schoolgirl outfit, and her companion was her pimp and bringing people into the train car to have sex with her. So that's where we start. That's where we mess up. We then meet her mom, who is fucked up in and of itself, who also is the one forcing her daughter into prostitution. By the time we meet her, she is into coke. She then starts hooking on the streets where she runs away from other hookers who think that she's infringing on their territory. And they all are like an abandoned train station or something like that. Then she meets Miguel, who says he can make her a star by turning her into porno flicks, gets her addicted to heroin, gets her thrown in a rehab center or jail where she gets shot up in the eye so no one will notice it. She meets Alex and tries to get away from the life, but Miguel threatens Alex and basically makes her think that he killed her. And then it gets even worse for her. And then it gets better with a happy ending where all the bad guys are defeated and she is walking to the sunset with Alex fully clean. This is not a good movie.
What is the name of that one again?
Hana D, the girl from Vondel Park.
Okay.
Not a good movie at all. It was really painful to sit through this one. I have a feeling all the actors in this movie were really shooting up. At least the background actors were, but no, it was boring. It was really boring. And in my research of it, I found out that this is an Italian exploitation film based on the German movie Christine F., who was basically a normal girl until she got addicted to heroin and got into this lifestyle, which according to the articles I read about, the real woman is still addicted to drugs. Not a man, this movie was it was not only painful to watch, it was boring. The 90 minutes felt like it was 7 hours long. I mean, this was my Letterboxd review of it. I would rather prostitute myself and have someone shoot me up in my eye than have to endure this movie again. Please note, it's not the sleaze or subject matter that turned me off to this film. Rather, it's so fucking boring.
Hana D.
Yeah, I can see why they have not put this one out on Blu-ray yet. Just not a good movie. My second one was a film I have never seen before. Slumber Party Massacre 2. I am not the biggest fan of Slumber Party, and again, this was also from the DVD 3-pack. I think Slumber Party Massacre is okay. I think it's pretty meh. This one is the exact opposite of meh. It's about the girl who survived it, Courtney, who survived the first one, now all grown up, is going to where she shouldn't go, a slumber party, because we all know how well it worked out for her older sister in the first movie, who, by the way, is in an insane asylum. And this time, the driller killer is a rock and roll greaser with a guitar with a drill on it, who sings several hit songs and dances before he kills.
This one sounds pretty sweet.
I love it. It's so good. And I'm with you. The Slumber Party Massacre, it's okay. It's fine. But the second one is just so bonkers and just silly as hell. And I love it.
It's like in somewhere of a production meeting for it. Hey, you see Nightmare on Elm Street? Hell yeah. Let's add that into the movie.
Yeah.
Can he have a guitar with a drill on it? Only if he sings. But I mean, this movie is ridiculous. I can't even describe it. It's just so fucking funny.
Yeah, I want to pick up that the 4K of Slumber Party and Slumber Party 2.
You know what?
Screen Factory put out.
I'm happy with my DVD.
Yeah.
I don't think if it was all three of them on 4K, I would consider it. But
Sure.
the DVD 3-pack was pretty nice. It came with a booklet, which I don't think the Blu-ray came with.
Mm-hmm.
So and it upscaled. It looks pretty good. I don't think I need to buy it again.
Nice. Save some money. Put it towards something else.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Save it up for that 4K Soul Man that's coming out this year.
Matt, there are so many movies coming out before Soul Man. No company wants to get canceled releasing it.
Oh, I think this is right up Vinegar Syndrome's alley.
I don't think so. I think their accountant is counting the numbers and the subscribers they'll lose and the media attention that they'll get that's unfavorable to releasing a movie that not only has a woman who is involved in the college admission scandals, but also it's racially insensitive.
Matt, you should just start a big fuss in all the groups. Let's just see what happens.
I'm gonna start a
up.
group called Vinegar Syndrome. Don't subscribe in 2024. Vinegar Syndrome doesn't release this movie.
But it wouldn't be. But hold on. But Matt, it wouldn't even be a subscription movie. It'd be VSU. So even if you subscribed, you wouldn't get it unless you paid for it.
Yeah, it's got to be a VSU. That's true.
And I don't see it coming out as a VSU because it wasn't that good of a movie.
Oh man, have you watched it recently?
No, I don't even own it.
It's on my server. Check it out.
I have to get on that. And why would you put it on there?
Excuse me.
But going back to Slumber Party Massacre 2. Yeah, this movie was a masterpiece. At an hour and 15 minutes, it was perfectly paced. It didn't overstay its welcome. Though I would have liked to hear more of the killer songs and watch him dance because I thought that was completely, utterly stupid. I also love the way he used popular songs from the day as catchphrases in that movie. Like, I didn't put where he, instead of bad puns, he dropped song titles in a not so menacing manner. I didn't list what they were. But
were they like actually good songs, or were they like Hard Rock Zombies level songs?
They were worse than Hard Rock Zombie.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had a whole band playing with him that was weird because it was just him, and he barely played his guitar during it. And he would dance. But the songs were like the buzz of the drills.
I feel like they should remake this starring Jack Black.
Oh God.
It is interesting though. This movie did have someone who eventually became kind of sorta a star. It starred Crystal Bernard, who was she was on Wings and some other show, but mostly Wings.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was. And then a movie with Judge Reinhold, As Good as Dead. Yeah, that movie sounds terrible, but yeah, I mean, and it also had Kimberly MacArthur, who was in Easy Money, Malibu Express, and Elvis and Me, and she was a Playboy Playmate.
Nice. Malibu Express. That is a Andy Sedaris.
Yes.
And I forget which company it was, but they started putting out all of Andy Sedaris's movies.
Was it Mill Creek or Kino?
I think it was Mill Creek. But
I bought Hard Ticket to Hawaii and I watched all the trailers on there.
Yeah.
And towards the end, he started having Buff Bagwell, who was in WCW in the day. And I am like, this is even embarrassing for a wrestler to be in these films.
Yeah, I started grabbing all those up when they first came out because they looked interesting and they were super cheap, but I haven't watched any of them. But the one on the cover of the one you said, I think, is that the one that has the guy who looks like Patrick Swayze on the front?
No, that's Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Okay.
His name is Ridge something. He was like a soap opera actor.
Ridge
something, yeah.
Weird.
Who's on the Bold and the Beautiful. All right.
I've got a breaking news before we start talking. Our Invisible Maniac video went live before we started this episode. And man, I think that guy's getting some traction. Someone commented and said, "Seeing how stupid this played out, maybe let's not talk about it."
Yeah, Russell Grant posted on that.
Yeah. Ouch.
We hit the hard-hitting titles. The titles people don't want us to talk about. But today we are going to talk about one that everyone has talked about ad nauseum. We are going to talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 1. Here is the video box. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a horror cult film based on all actual crimes from an actual crime from the director of Poltergeist. Whoever you are, whatever you know, nothing in your experience could ever prepare you for the horror of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What seemed like a perfect day in August 1973, 5 teenagers went for a drive. They were headed for a nightmare in a ghoulish house, littered with the remains of dead animals, waited a family of maniacal killers. They would emerge adorned with bones, skulls, and animal skins to turn the peaceful Texas countryside into a human slaughterhouse. So I watched this right before we recorded. I was going to watch it last night, but I finished watching the John Wick three John Wick trilogies to get me ready for the 4th one later this month.
Nice.
And I can't imagine seeing this one was released in 73, right?
74.
Okay, whatever year. And hearing that this is based on a true story. And how they amplify that at the beginning. And I can't imagine not having the internet to actually look up if this was true or not. Because I can imagine walking out of the theater in 1974, having my friends pass me another joint and going, "Man, we're never going to Texas." And then someone going, "We should totally go to Texas."
Go to Texas.
And then we'd go and nobody would ever hear from us again. But
that'd be pretty rough, yeah.
So again, I've seen this movie multiple times, and I don't think we need to go over the plot, because if you haven't seen it, just go over to Shudder and watch it, or go to Best Buy and pick it up on 4K, or wait until Second Sight's 4K version of it comes out. But let's talk about the characters first. Let's talk about Franklin.
Yay! Sally, now Sally.
Franklin, is that you?
Look, I'm not going to say anything because Franklin was in a wheelchair, but every bad thing that could happen to him happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he had to take a whiz, he fell down. He rolled down the hill. What amazed me is by that time he was able he was able to get his pecker back into his pants, because I'm pretty sure he was mid piss.
Mid pee in a peanut can or coffee can or whatever. I think it was peanuts. Was it? Okay. Yeah. Oh, poor Franklin.
He complained a lot and knew a lot about slaughterhouses.
Mm-hmm.
Then they picked up a hitchhiker who Franklin was really excited to find out worked in a slaughterhouse. And then he cut Franklin and took a picture of them, and they lit it on fire after he invited them over for dinner.
I think Franklin is like, I think he's a pretty misunderstood character. Like, I know a lot of people, I will admit, he's very annoying, but I think he's pretty necessary for a film like this, honestly. Because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like, of course, just speaking of my opinion, but it's very dark. And again, my opinion, pretty fucking terrifying to me, even still today. So I think Franklin is necessary because he is a little bit humorous, even though I think we are supposed to feel bad for him, because I think the movie states that he's an invalid. You know, he's in a wheelchair. But I think he offers, in my opinion, I think it's pretty intentional humor in there with a lot of his reactions and stuff like that.
But I think a lot of jokes were made at his expense.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And like him falling down the hill.
I do feel, I'm sorry, it really does. That scene is so fucking funny to me. But there is one point in the movie where I actually really do like, not only feel for him, but feel for his sister, Sally. You know, when everyone has gone missing and they're by the van and they're blowing on the horn and trying to figure out what to do. And, you know, she eventually breaks down and it's like, I can't, you know, he's like, let's go look for him. And she's like, I cannot push you down that hill. Like, I can't. And it really kind of, I don't know. It really, I think, ties everything together where you really get at that point, like, wow, like, these people are stranded. They have no idea where their fucking friends are. Something's happening. They're in this rough terrain. One of them's in a wheelchair. Like, how the fuck are you possibly going to survive this? Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the most extreme points in the movie is nobody survived it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no final girl. There was no final guy. No one survived this movie.
I feel like, and I could be wrong on this, but well, I'll do that part in a second, but I was just going to say about Franklin, I kept going back and forth on, you know, was he there for some sort of just like comedic value to kind of lighten up how dark it was, or, you know, when I was watching it, the presence of Franklin like made the movie scarier to me, because I feel like when you're in the situation and you're, you know, in a much more vulnerable state like he is, like he can't get away from anything as easily. I feel like that makes it much more terrifying, where it's like, you know, yeah, the other people really didn't stand a chance, but this guy has, you know, literally no chance to do anything. He's
well, I think that kind of leads to two things. One, I had no sympathy for him or his death, though him and his sister were the most defined characters out of the five.
Mm-hmm.
But also Franklin at sometimes came off as a whiny dick.
Sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree with that. And I do love his kill when Sally's pushing him through the wood. It's just so fast. He's like, what was that? You know, shine the flashlight, bam.
Yeah.
I wish there was more on camera. Of course, I understand why not, but that's pretty fucking scary to me.
I was
That was
really
cool.
hoping I was gonna feel bad laughing at it, but I was really hoping there wasn't going to be a scene. I haven't seen this in forever, so I didn't remember, but I was really hoping there wasn't going to be a scene of Leatherface chasing Franklin and he's just like viciously trying to wheel his wheelchair away. I was like, oh, please don't.
Please don't go there. Yeah.
The other question is, why did Franklin come along with them?
Well, it's mentioned at one point because it's never really definitively put, but he's mimicking Sally. He's like, "Oh, Franklin, it's gonna be fun. You should come." Which, yeah, why did she beg him to come?
So was the whole point of this trip to go to that house? I think I might have missed that at the very beginning.
It was to see if they wanted to make sure that their grandfather's plot had not been messed with during the grave robberies.
Okay.
And then I think it seemed, at least what I took away from is Franklin was more, hey, we should go, check out this the old farmhouse and stuff.
Okay.
And
Got it.
Why would the family let the farmhouse go into such disarray? And did it seem like most of the town folks knew this family? Like you got the traditional warning from the gas station guy. I probably would go up there, and then tell
well, I
him.
mean, he's part of it,
The gas station guy was.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Because remember when Sally went back there for help?
One. I don't. I said there might have been another guy. Was it the same guy at the gas station who was telling him not to go, or?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I thought Grandpa was the one, or the dad was the one who was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Was the one. I don't remember. Maybe, all right, I apologize. I must have missed something.
No, you're good. I need to apologize. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about it.
But
yeah, it's almost like he was deterring them, like you don't want to go up there because why? I don't know, because of course later on we find out, well, he's just as nutty as the fucking rest of them.
well, I think we learned about the nuttiness of the town at the cemetery when you had the drunk guy there just giving exposition on shit. I mean, that would have been the first hint. Maybe we saw the gravestone. Maybe we should get out of here.
Nope.
What I love the oh, go ahead.
Go on, Brian. Go on.
Oh, all I was going to say, because I've actually got it on right now, any excuse to watch this movie is always okay with me. It is like the fucking set designs in this are so amazing to me. Like all the bones and skulls and just like the way they piece things together to make these like crazy fucking mutations with the bone. I mean, it's fucking awesome. Like this is the greatest horror movie of all time. I firmly believe that. And I wish you were mentioning at the beginning there, Robert, like imagining seeing this like when it came out. Oh my God, I'd still kill actually to see this like in a drive-in setting. That would be cool as shit.
Probably would. Let me throw this question at you. If this movie was, first of all, this movie became the prototype for so many other horror movies, most notably Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses and X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, watching this, like the whole driving scenes to get to that house, I was like, I feel like these exact shots were used in X. I know he had inspiration from it, but
yeah, actually, X was filmed in New Zealand, so it couldn't have been the same driving shots. But I don't know. It's just all right. What I really like is we have no idea who the family is. We get very little background on them, and I think I like them as ciphers more than anything else. one thing that every horror movie has done afterward has given the killer's kind of motivation or kind of a backstory, starting with Halloween and Michael. But these people are just out there and they are utterly insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the scene around the dinner table towards the end of the film is one of my favorites in horror. It just, you know, when you've got Sally tied up there, and it's that overusage, and I will say that it's kind of overly done, but I think it's to the film's benefit. You know, Sally is just screaming and screaming, and this family is just laughing and just being, like you said, just completely. You really feel the insanity of what they're trying to push. I think in this film with that scene, it's just so fucking. It's almost too much. But if I think about it, it's like it wouldn't be what it is if they dialed it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of wishing that they would have spent more time kind of in that house, kind of exploring that house a little, because those first shots when the first two Kirk and what was the other girl's name? Pam.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That first scene when they kind of just stumble upon the house and they take turns going in, like I feel like those first couple shots were, I don't know, like when they first went in and the Pam like went into like the the chicken room.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those were like like I got like goosebumps when they first went in. I was like, oh shit, this place looks like super creepy.
Yeah. I think my mistake is I should have watched it at night instead of in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking that whenever you were saying that, I was like, oh man, gotta do that shit in the dark.
I was gonna watch it last night, but I was pretty tired out. I had bronchitis this week and just wanted to go to bed at a decent time.
Yeah. The cinematography in this one is fucking great. There's some really, really wonderful wide shots in it. I can't wait to upgrade to the 4K. I think I'm gonna do the second sight one personally.
Yeah, me. I am as well, and I'm also glad to know that it'll probably be delayed like Martin is.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys should, because I did not wait. And I got this guy, which the cover art is cool, but I don't know if I was expecting it to be like a box or something, but it's just a slip. And I looked on the second site, and that one's got like double the special features. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Second sight's pretty legit with the releases.
mm-hmm.
All right, going back to this movie, I really want to talk about the hitchhiker and how he set the tone for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was the one who proved that one, he was probably the most sane one in the family. And two, do you think when he smeared blood on the truck, on the van, that was basically to target them?
That's what I've always taken away from it.
I was trying to think about that, and I couldn't remember if they picked him up before or after the gas station, but it must have been before.
Mm-hmm.
It was before the gas station, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, if that didn't have a purpose for him to mark the van, then I mean, we know he was crazy, but maybe it was just even more.
Yeah, because they definitely spend a lot of time like talking about it, you know, because they're wondering too. Like it's almost like he was trying to write something,
Mm-hmm.
which I've always been curious what the the story behind that is. Like, what was the intention like for him to? Well, what is the purpose of it ultimately? Like I said, that's the only thing I've ever been able to land on is it was him basically marking them and I'm gonna kill you. You gonna die.
What I'm really all right. What did you think of the acting in this movie?
I mean, without talking about Franklin again, I guess we've kind of already done that. I thought it was great. I mean, I think everyone in it does a really good job of just being pretty believable. it's nothing like I don't think of this movie in regards of like, oh, outstanding performances. I think it's pretty run of the mill, but they do a fine job at it. Now, I will give Sally, and forgive me, I don't know her actual name. Good God of mercy, that girl really gave it her all, and you feel so bad for her. And I think she really did like, give it her all. Fucking screaming her ass off.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the acting was good, and I think that it was so effective because it was just so simple. It wasn't like over the top. With the exception of Sally, but that was warranted for her situation. But they just seemed like normal people just going on this car ride and you know dying in some creepy house. But they just seemed like, I don't know, like if we watch a remake or something, it's everyone's kind of, I don't know, overacting or try to really hone in the character that they are. And it just seemed like this was simple, straightforward. We're just some teens driving around in the 70s. um which, one thing about the 70s I was going to ask, was it just super popular to pick up hitchhikers at all times?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's okay to do
Yeah,
when
I mean, I honestly, yeah, I think it's actually pretty hippie culture. You know what I mean? Um, yeah.
Yeah, the one girl, Pam, I thought her line was funny. She was like, what does he look like? He
Well,
looks
I mean, that was the category. If it was a hot guy or hot girl, you were automatically going to pick them up.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of porno movies back in that time period.
One thing I was gonna start to talk about before, how you said everyone died, no one survived. Um, there was a part in the movie where I kind of felt like someone did survive and they changed the movie and didn't go back and change that part of the movie. But when Jerry went in um, to look for Pam and Kirk, um, Leatherface went after him with the hammer, and I couldn't tell if he hit him or not. But then it looked like
Oh, he dead.
he was
He
he was looking for his body and couldn't find it, and then he like sat down on the chair like all like freaked out kind of. And then the dad came back and made it a point to be like, none of them got away, did they? None of them got away. And he was like, no, no.
Mhm.
he dead.
Like
Jerry dead.
they made it seem like
Well,
he wasn't there anymore.
I do want to point out. I mean, Sally survives.
Does she?
Oh yes, that's true.
Does she survive?
I mean, she's probably fucked up in the head for the rest of her life. But
I didn't think she survived. I thought they pretty much killed her.
no, the
She
end of
rode
the
off-
movie's her.
off
Yeah,
in a-
she rode off the back of that truck. Yeah. Dude, let's give a nod to the driver of the Black Maria. What a badass. I love that dude. When she hops in there, they see him. He's like, "What the fuck?"
That part I thought was funny because it's like you're already both in the truck. His chainsaw is clearly not getting through that door. Why don't you just drive away?
Yeah,
They're just like, get out.
oh god.
I want to say I think this was Toby Hooper's first film, correct?
I don't know actually, Matt. You could probably didn't you do your Hooptober?
Yeah, but we only pick one of his movies to talk about. Let me see. This does look like his first feature length. Yeah.
I mean, it was nearly perfectly directed. No overuse, perfect casting for everybody. Except maybe they could have found a less dickish Franklin. By the way, was that actor really in a wheelchair?
That I don't know. I was seeing what else he was in, and I can't picture him in any of these other movies. I mean, he was in the Texas Chainsaw movie that everyone hates.
Which one?
It's Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
The Next Generation?
That was the very first one that I ever saw.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. says he was in Rolling Thunder, and I recently watched that. I'm trying to think of who he was in there, but I don't remember anyone in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I think this was a perfect first film for Toby Hooper. And it really sucks that this was his first film because it would be nearly impossible for him to beat it. I think Poltergeist, which came out in the mid 80s, was a really good example, but Eaten Alive is just okay.
Oh, I love Eaten Alive.
I need to revisit it, but I have the Arrow DVD, but I haven't watched it since the Arrow Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it since I got the since I picked up the Arrow Blu-ray. Yeah, so it's been probably over 15 years since I've seen that movie. But I mean the way the film was shot, the film texture, how it was made to feel realistic based on the whole premise that this was a true story, which it wasn't. Just to be clear, this wasn't a true story.
I mean, it's all based on Ed Gein. I mean, that's, you know.
Ed Gein didn't have no creepy family.
No, but you know, with you know, all the bones and shit.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is, and I think the score to this film too is very underrated. It's very subtle.
Yeah, that's what's
Just
great.
like really deep, yeah, just really deep notes and like little click, 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 like noises and shit. Like I yeah, I honestly do. I think it's a perfect horror film.
Yep. So I'll get to it. How many Texas Chainsaws would you give this movie, Brian?
I'll go with one. No, I'm kidding. No, 5, and if I could give it more, I would. If I virtually think it's impossible that no one has not seen this movie. But if you are watching and you haven't, stop what you're doing immediately. After you
Actually,
like
don't listen to this pod.
and
If you made it this far, we spoiled it for you, but still go watch it.
Yeah, I have zero complaints about it, and I know fear is subjective, of course, you know, but it is truly one of the only movies that still manages to get under my skin, no matter how many times I've watched it. And it's just like the little subtleties in it, like, you know, when we first see Leatherface, you know, to go back on the score, there's no music, no nothing, you know,
Just
he just
pops up.
out, fucking, you know, and then it's after the fact, you know, when the camera starts to pan back out of the house, the boom, you know, it's just like, what the fuck is happening? This is so creepy.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, Matt, how many Texas Chainsaws would you give this movie?
I'm gonna go just under and do 4.5. Just because I think I said it a long time ago, but I rarely give out a 5. But yeah, I thought this was definitely a lot better than I remember it being. It's been so long since I've seen it. That's kind of why I wanted to watch it again. The only thing I'll say is that I don't know if I've just been desensitized or I've just seen every movie that's come after this, but man, were those kills like super tame?
For 1973, 1974, they were.
I'm just like seeing, just like based on watching it nowadays.
Yeah, no, they are tame by today's standards.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of caught me off guard a little watching it, and kind of how Brian was saying, like, you know, fear is subjective, and it's kind of like something is scary. You know, different things are scary for everyone, and it's, to me, it's like the house, the music, the, you know, kind of just the surroundings of this movie were what were most scary to me. Those shots of Sally's like eyeball,
Oh yeah.
like those were like really creepy to me. And honestly, like with the kills, like as tame, the massacre was the least scary part to me. But
but unlike Mardi Gras Massacre, this is truly a massacre.
No, I'll agree, man. It's they do a great job of really capturing the isolation. They really make you feel like, wow, these people they really are in the middle of fucking nowhere. And
Yep.
again, I think it's amplified because, like, oh, hey, there's this gas station, and then we, again, we find out like, well, fuck, the guy that's running that's a fucking madman too. They're all just part of this crazy shit together.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I can see I can
All right.
see the praise that it gets, and I can see how so much was inspired by this. So yeah,
I'm going to ask a simple question, Matt. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
I'm done.
So in the second film, we find out the barbecue is humans. Were they eating humans in this movie?
That's what I've always thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember anything about the second one, but that's kind of the vibe I got from this too. Just from
We just watched the second one, didn't we?
I didn't. No.
Oh. Well, I
What
thought we talked.
podcast are you on?
I don't know.
Yeah. Grindhouse Superior. What is it?
Oliver and I have our own podcast. No. I will also give this one 5 Texas chainsaws. And I will give it 1 extra Leatherface. I mean, without this movie, we would not. This movie basically ushered in modern horror. There are so many tropes that Tobe Hooper created in this that other creators picked up on and added to for their horror films. Without this film, there would be no Halloween. There would be no Friday the 13th. Basically, this is what gave us the golden age of horror from the 1980s.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I think it's a near perfect film, and I absolutely adore it. I wish I paid more attention when I watched it this morning. So before I go on my rant, I think we should watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 for next week.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Cool.
For the first time.
Yes. All right. I'm going to go on a rant right now. We've all made fun of mid-level media on this show before, right? I am going to do it again because this week he released a video that was so nauseating that I wanted to fly to whatever state he was in and just go bad, bad, bad. You give film collectors a bad name. Look, I'm sorry?
I don't think I've seen whatever video you're talking about.
So basically, I know we all have some sort of FOMO that if we miss out on something, we will regret it. For some reason or other, because he missed out on a lot of the slip covers of the early days of Scream Factory, he is now buying all the 4Ks to get the slip covers. First of all, they are not the same slip covers.
No.
I think the Blu-ray slip covers are superior to the 4K ones. Second, if you've never seen a movie before, maybe you should fucking watch it before you spend $30, $35 on it. Because I don't want to watch, which I did, a 15-minute rant of you regretting that you spent money on Bubba Hotep. One, I know Bubba Hotep isn't for everybody. I know it's a polarizing movie. But you shouldn't just buy something that has Bruce fucking Campbell in it and expect it to be good. And then you go on to explain that maybe you're not going to blind buy everything anymore. Maybe you shouldn't blind buy stuff to begin with. A lot of these movies are streaming. You could watch it beforehand before spending the money on it.
Yeah.
And you didn't need to make a 15-minute video about it. It could have been 5 minutes in another video, which he did bitch about it in another video as well. Look, I
will add that, I mean, I blind buy like a motherfucker. I don't bitch about it though. If I get a movie and it sucks, it's like, well, I can, trade it or sell it or just keep it and maybe change my mind one day. I don't know,
And we've all bought movies that are bad. I mean, we've all bought Vinegar Syndrome movies where we get some that aren't perfect. Great. But for for the most part, a lot of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff are all blind buys because for most of them, I have never heard of these movies before, or
Right.
I've never seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
Some I have, but a movie as regarded as Bubba Hotep, it's pretty easy to find it out there. And if you're buying it just for a fucking slipcover, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that. And one, yeah, the slipcovers are not the same at all. These ones that they're putting on the 4Ks, I think, are just lazy. I don't know if there's some deal with the Blu-ray ones where they didn't work out a deal with the artist to use the same art on them or something, but these ones are literally just the original poster, pretty much. Not even like
To be fair, the Blu-ray for Bubba Hotep was the same cover. It was the movie poster.
oh, okay. But yeah, second, I think some of the best things that I've watched have been blind buys. So it's like, I think it comes down to the person, you have to expect to be either, you have to expect to be disappointed if you're buying a movie that you've never seen before.
Right.
But at the same time, like, does he make movies where he's super happy about blind buys that he liked?
I'm sure he has. I actually I think he is. And look, I know I missed stuff today, but he comes off as misinformed on a lot of stuff, in my opinion.
It sounds to me, I've actually never watched this channel, but it sounds to me like there are some people. I want to word it where I'm not trying to bash anyone, but there are people that choose to collect, and like the size of their collection is what matters the most, not the content. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, if it's going to be on my shelf, most of the time, it's because I want it to be there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It sounds like maybe he's one of those collectors, though, where I don't know. Again, I've never watched his channel, but I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going in blind buying that much shit, um, yeah, it just seems to me like you're not as concerned with the film. But
No, I mean, like I placed my first pre-order for something of things I haven't seen before. It's one of those new indicator sets from this family from Tennessee, from horror to salvation or heaven. It just sounded really interesting to me. Though I am a little nervous on that one because I've just been hearing reviews of that Murphy set that was just released. Matt, did you order that one?
That's the micro budget one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got stuck with Martin, so I'll get it at some point here.
It's gotten some really bad reviews.
Has it, like, because of the movies or because of the
Movies. I read one on the boutique Blu-ray subreddit where I stopped watching after the first disc. It was unwatchable.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know.
Is this that micro budget horror from the same director? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing could have happened with, like, Steckler. That was a blind buy, and that ended up being, was that my number one this past year, or was that my number two for?
It was in your top. I think it was your number one.
Yeah, like,
but at least with Steckler, I think you bought it after I kept on recommending it, right?
you did recommend it, yeah.
Because I have seen one of his films. The only out of the 7 director sets, the only one I had not seen was Al Adamson. But then I realized I had seen an Al Adamson movie after I watched it on the set, the Dracula versus Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that could have been an example of, that set was what, 150, as a 150 blind buy. Like, if I didn't like any of them, I probably would have been a little upset. Like, why did I spend this money on this? But I don't know. I wouldn't have made a video to tell everyone how upset I was, I guess.
No, it's like that dude who made a video of Sex World not knowing it was a porno. Do your fucking research.
That one's kind of funny.
But still, it's like, look, I know this guy has way more subscribers than us, and if you're one of his subscribers, comment below why you like him. Or better yet, tell him to contact us to be a guest on our show so we can ask tough questions.
Yeah.
We gang up three on one. What?
Like, how did you get so many subscribers? We need to know.
How many of them were bought and paid for?
Wait, what was that, Brian?
I was just saying, we like just tear them apart. They were like, "Hey, can you tell some of your subscribers to like our channel?"
The other least favorite thing I did, I mentioned before, so I won't go into it, how he does a monthly audit with his wife on how much he spent.
Mm-hmm. Should I start doing that?
I think your wife would divorce you because I'm guessing you spend way more than he does.
I've cut back except this month.
Dude, why? Why did you order every partner label?
It just looked like they were going quick.
Let them go. You're gonna watch that GoldenEye documentary once and go, I never really liked the game.
Oh, I love the game.
It's a great game.
They just released it on Xbox One, like original graphics and everything.
Thank God.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great video game. But you know what? That would have been a great special feature on the GoldenEye Blu-ray or 4K. Same thing with the Clue documentary. There was no reason to release that one independently.
I've been seeing some bad stuff about that one. The picture quality apparently is like horrendous.
Do they even interview any of the actors in that one?
That I don't know.
Yeah. The only time I watched a documentary where none of the band's members were interviewed or their music is used was a really good documentary about the replacements called Color Me Obsessed, and I thought it was pretty fascinating. But yeah,
Nice.
all right, that does it for this week. I end on a rant. Join us next week as we watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deuce.
Are you just gonna have us reply to you're just gonna play the footage of you talking about it on your other podcast? Brian, just gonna
look the Superior Grindhouse Chic, which has 4,000 subscribers, and we've been monetized. Yeah, I might just talk about it again. For some reason, I thought we talked about it.
We're almost there. We're currently up to 69.
What number?
Yeah.
You heard me.
What?
69.
I did see Quantumania yesterday.
Yeah.
What is that?
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. It wasn't bad, though. I think I'm pretty much over Marvel movies.
I have finally come to the realization that and I did not feel this way in the beginning, but I feel like these movies are just not being made for me anymore. They're not being made for an almost 40-year-old man. They're just going for the younger folk, I think.
I thought there were a lot of really nice moments in Quantumania. I really like is it Jonathan Majors?
Mm-hmm.
I liked his performance as Kang. I'm going to go back and rewatch the Loki series now to get a little bit more context.
Mm-hmm.
But Kang is one of my favorite villains, and he portrays him pretty well. I also kind of like the last scene. Brian, have you heard it? Watch this movie?
You can spoil the hell. I have zero interest, if I'm being honest.
I kind of like the last scene where he realized that Kang was warning him that if you kill him, there is something worse around the horizon.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really human moment where the superhero is questioning everything he did in that movie.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing at the end of Loki where, he was saying, if you kill me, something worse is coming, and they did it anyway. But just the folly of man, where it's you've got to stop the most present danger, and you don't care about what's going to happen after, kind of.
And I really say in the first extra bonus scene or mid credit scene, where we see the Council of Kang, which looked like it was taken exactly out of the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really glad to see that Ramatut and Immortus were there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with it, but I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about these movies anymore.
This was the first one I've seen in the theaters since Eternals.
Mm.
And I couldn't imagine seeing Black Panther seeing the theater for nearly 3 hours, or over 3 hours if you count trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, that one got me at first, but I rewatched it again, and I was just kind of like, man, this is not good.
Speaking of theaters, we are going after this call to finally go watch Cocaine Bear.
Right.
Yep, I can't see.
I've been hearing good stuff, actually.
I can't watch animal attack movies, but I think that's a perfect place to go, where Brian is going to do cocaine before watching Cocaine Bear. On that note, we will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Please comment. Just comment. Just comment on my new haircut, on Matt's haircut, on Brian's haircut. Just comment.
Look at us.
Except if you're spam.
Did we all get our haircut?
Matt
Did
didn't.
we all do it?
Yeah, I cut mine off, and it's right here. Which when I was watching Texas Chainsaw, I feel like this looks more like the hair that Leatherface had on than Dalton. I think you were right.
I know I'm right because I'm Robert.
I feel bummed out. I had it sitting down here too. I meant to wear my Leatherface apron.
Ooh, nice. Next time.
Next week.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. We will see you next week. Have a good one, everybody. And please hit subscribe.